Hi, Dr. Aditya Shastri. Welcome to the Education Founder series. So glad to have you here with us today. So we just want to start off right with the discussion. So my first question for you is, how would you describe the current status of higher education in India, and what do you think are its biggest strengths and weaknesses?
I think the current status of higher education, I would describe it by the cliche that it is island of excellence amongst the sea of mediocrity, because historically we had a very few institutions of higher education. But over the years, we wanted to expand and, take higher education to as many. The enrollment ratio has to be increased. So now there are many institutions and the whole diversity is exhibited in the kind of educational institutions that we have in terms of quality, in terms of nature, in terms of diversity. But I think now a feeling has been set up that only quality is going to survive. And with the new education policy, a very clear-cut vision has come before the country that what real education means, what quality education means collectively for all of us, and country should strive to achieve it.
Sure, sir. So, given the scenario that you described, where in that scenario, how do you perceive the role of private universities?
The role of private university is immense because I started by saying that just after the independence, we had only a handful of institutions. And the gross enrollment ratio, they call it, that means amongst the college education going age group, how many people are actually attending the college. Yeah. And just 10, 15 years back, it used to be about 5 to 6 to 7%. So that means in a population out of 100, if you offer only 6 to 7% of the people the chance to enroll in higher education, that means that will not lead to a very rapid development of the country, be it economic development, social development, and what have you. From last 15 years, we have moved from 6 to 7% of gross enrollment ratio to close to 30%, about 28 to 29%. And all that expansion has largely happened in the private sphere because government doesn't have inclination and means to set up so many universities. So I think private education is the way forward if you want to, so to speak, universalize higher education.
There are lots of universities who offer degrees to the Indian youth, but they do not guarantee the employability once they complete the course. Do you agree with this statement? Do you think if this is the situation, can it be remedied in your opinion?
No, the university degree shall never be a guarantee for employment. There are two separate entities. And I think education should always start with a much higher objective, that developing a holistic personality of a human being. In my university, Vanasthali, what we have is the five-fold education system, comprising of physical, practical, aesthetic, intellectual, anyhow is there, and moral.
Right, that's great to know. So before we delve further into the unique features of the university, some of which you've already mentioned, I would really like to know as to how this university was conceived. When was it conceived? If you can tell us a little bit about the journey.
I think the way university originated, I think is a unique story in the whole world as far as we know. Our founders, Pandit Hiralal Shastri ji and Srimati Ratan Shastri ji. Pandit Hiralal Shastri ji was Home and Finance Secretary in the Rajputana state in Rajasthan before his independence. And at a very young age of 26 years, he became Home and Finance Secretary. But he was from a farmer's family and his heart was in the freedom movement. He wanted to do something from society and wanted to motivate people to join the freedom struggle. So he left his job and came to this village, Vanasthali. He had a very promising daughter named Shantabai. And people say that she never had any formal education, but at the age of 7 and 8, she could read Vedas and very enlightened soul she was. And when she was of the age 11, she came to Shastri ji that I want to start a school. There is no education here, particularly for girls. And Shastriji perhaps laughed her off. She herself was hardly school-going age. So they said that we have built everything by our own hands here. So why don't you make some mud bricks and we will have some room erected for you. And she gathered her friends and made tens of thousands of mud bricks so that one day a couple of rooms can come up and she can start her school. So when all this was happening, one fine day she had a very high fever. And before Shastris could react, by evening she passed away. How long will you mourn? Let us train others the same way. Because everybody else is like our own daughter, you know. So Shastriji wrote to all his friends and relatives that would you send your daughter? We want to start school. And all his friends were in freedom movement and they probably pitied on him. So one fine day, 5 girls landed up in the Shastri household. So what to do with them? But Shantabai was very versatile. She was very good with music. So one music teacher was engaged. She was very good with playing. So one Dadu Panthi Sadhu was engaged to teach them martial arts. So like that, you know, the 5-fold education that we make tall claims came from her personality. And that journey which became in early 30s with 5 students. With that beginning in 1930s with 5 students, today Banasthali enrolls 18,000 plus students. We are the largest residential university in the world. We are the second highest ranked women's university in the world. We had the highest possible NAC accreditation of A++.
Sure, sir. That's very inspiring to hear. I'm sure, given with COVID-19, as with other education institutions, also you would have faced a number of challenges. Given with the scenario, it's getting worse every day. So, how did you make sure that education was being imparted to your students in an organized manner, how it has been done over these couple of years, and the pandemic did not thwart your operations in any way?
Well, last March, we were as stunned as anybody else because lockdown came far too suddenly. And but fortunately, you know, the organization and my colleagues have shown a lot of agility and resilience. Because within a couple of weeks' time, we said that we just cannot sit idle and wait till normalcy comes. So what we proudly say is that we didn't allow a single day to be wasted in the academic calendar. So last year, we completed our exams as per the schedule in May 2020. We initiated our next academic calendar in July online. And I think of very, very excellent quality, I would like to believe. The feedback we get from the students and from the faculty members is superlative. And because of the quality of online teaching, many of our undergraduates were already rushing to us that we want to enroll for postgraduate studies as well.
Sure, sir. That's great to know. Like you mentioned, some of the challenges with regards to teaching. I think another challenge would have been for you to ensure placement of your students. So if you could tell us, how did you cope with that situation and what were the strategies that you used to ensure that your students were being placed?
Some of our recruiters say they recruit our students for their values and not so much for their just mere narrow technical competencies. I'm not saying that our students are not technically competent, but I think to ensure placements, you have to develop really a holistic personality and develop the right kind of human values. So most of our students find placements in a very leading high-tech companies. So they were easily moved their placement to online interviews, etc. So none of our placements of 2020 were put on hold. All companies honored their offers to our students.
So what are the immediate goals that you have for the institution?
One immediate byproduct which is going to come out is the Banasthali online, you know, because universities were not allowed to offer online degree. But Government of India has also shown a lot of agility, and they have allowed suo motu some quality institutions to offer online degrees. Right. So fortunately, we are one of them. So some undergraduate and postgraduate degrees will be offering online. So School of Aviation, so aviation was just an activity which happens. So apart from Banasthali Online, School of Aviation is a very, very serious thing which we are working on. And that is not this July, but I think in a year or couple of years maybe, that will be only of its kind initiative. All women School of Aviation.
Before we wrap up today's discussion, I would like you to share a few words for students who are starting higher education today, for this year, and what is your message to them, if you can tell us?
I think those who are joining higher education now, they are joining at the right place. And we only wish and pray that we move past the pandemic phase. And then the quality of education would be much better than what we would have encountered otherwise. So I wish you all the best. Good luck. Just hang in there and we will be through. Everything passes and this phase will also pass and you will all do very well.